Hi, everyone. My name is Alex Isaac, and I'm the founder and CEO of BBMS Media, a marketing agency working exclusively with the business broking and M&A intermediation industries. We have proudly partnered with the American Business Brokers Association to deliver educational and motivational content to business brokers to help guide them through this difficult time. It was the great American entrepreneur, Walt Disney, who said that all of the adversity he had in his life, all of his troubles and all of his obstacles, that ultimately strengthened him. He also said that whilst you may not realize it when it happens, but a kick in the teeth may be the best thing in the world. So with that in mind, today we're going to be conducting an interview with my friend Ted Leverette. Ted Leverette, decades ago, coined a job title, Business Buyer Advocate. It defines his business advisory niche. Since then, he's helped thousands of people find and then buy the right businesses the right way. He's not a business broker. He does not offer businesses for sale. He helps clients contact small and mid-sized companies that are not for sale. Some of these companies become available to buyers, offering fair deals. He's also trained nearly 300 professionals to better serve business buyers, such as business brokers, lawyers, accountants, and appraisers. During this interview, we're going to hear the business buyer's perspective on the current medical and financial crisis. Ted, thank you very much for being with us.
Good to be here.
Now, can you please start by introducing yourself and your company to our listeners?
Well, basically, I enable people buying small and mid-sized businesses to achieve done deals. And what I'm trying to get across today and always is buying a business, it's all about search. Because if you can't find it, you cannot buy it. And it's about being best and beating buyer competition. And I cover that in my books. We can talk about that later.
Very good. All right, let's jump right into it. Now, you've been a buyer's advocate for a very long time. And during this time, you've certainly seen times of uncertainty and downright fear. During these times, how do buyers typically behave?
Well, I can tell you what's happening right now during our crisis. There are two kinds of buyers most active, the bottom feeders and the lookers. The bottom feeders, these are the people who want to exploit other people. And I'm talking about trying to get to owners who have to sell right now, the owners who don't have time to market their business to numerous buyers. And they're willing to accept terms that really they shouldn't, but they need to. And the other kind of person on the playing field now are the searchers who do not buy. And they're scared and they are wasting the time of sellers and brokers. They're driving all of us crazy. The kinds of buyers I like to work with, these are the people who, in good economies and bad economies, they're not afraid to search because they know how to do it. And they're not afraid to buy because they know how to do it. Those people are not in the market right now.
Very interesting. Now, let me ask you something. For the buyers who are fearful of investing during a time like this, what do you think can be done to mitigate their fears?
They better learn how to search, and they better learn how to buy. And they better do those things before they enter the buy-sell playing field, because none of us out there want to cope with these people who don't know what they're doing. And it's not just the buyers. Keep in mind the other side of the playing field. Brokers and sellers are shooting themselves in the foot right now, this week, with undeserved superlatives. I'm telling my buyers, avoid the kumbaya crowd. You know, those people who say everything's going to be just fine, go ahead and buy. Guess what? There's not much sellers can do right now to attract buyers, not the really good buyers, because it's too much uncertainty, too much danger. Now's the time for people to stay on the sidelines. And hey, I'm a deal maker. I want to get paid making deals. I just don't want them to happen this week.
Very good. Going back to what you were saying earlier, what do you think is the profile of buyers who see this as an opportunistic situation as far as business sales and purchases are concerned?
Well, this is an opportunistic time, and that's why I'm so worried about the bottom feeders. But forget those people. This is a really good time, including the clients I represent now. They have cash and they have superb business management skills, and that's absolutely essential. plus they have the right advisory team. And we're talking about specialists who know how to facilitate deals, the ones that should occur, and have the courage to kill the transactions that shouldn't. The other thing is financing, increasingly more difficult, maybe even impossible for acquisition financing. There's a lot of working capital loans going to be made available in many countries, but not to buy. Working capital to help people who own businesses survive. And this means the sellers are going to have to provide financing, just like we did in the Great Recession. They're going to have to upfront say financing available to buyers. Otherwise, why buy their company? I'm telling my buyers, no seller financing, walk away. So unless the owners are motivated to sell, they're going to have to offer better terms up front. Don't hide the ball now. If you're going to be flexible, make your best offer to buyers right now. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Then very poignant, very poignant. Now, let me ask you, from a buyer's perspective, how does this current crisis compare to other ones, such as 9/11 or the GFC, the global financial crisis?
It's much worse now because people are dying. Tens of thousands of people dying. Hundreds of thousands of people might die. The financial systems are totally dysfunctional right now. The financial manipulators, guess what? They're manipulating. And the boasting about low interest rate, who cares? Who wants to borrow at a low interest rate if you can't pay the money back because you made a bad investment? Nobody knows how long it's going to take for these markets to what? Recover. And guess what? In some sectors, it's going to be a very long time. So this medical and financial crisis, I think it's going to change the way we do business, and it's going to really change it in some sectors. So we don't want to be first in right now. We just don't know what's going to happen. Good time to pause, take a deep breath.
Very good. And let me ask you something else. What advice would you give a business buyer whilst we're in the midst of all this chaos?
You know, I know I'm sounding like a broken record, but do your homework about searching and buying and figure out how to buy value. And you better know how to value businesses. Not necessarily appraise them like appraisers do, but price them. Pricing right now is everything. I did a webinar a week ago on this, and it really was meant to overturn how people think. Those old days are over. Got to have the right advisory team, and that also includes somebody who knows how to price. Stay off the internet for all those online calculators for pricing. Crap. Next. Sorry.
No. Okay. And what advice would you give a business buyer once the chaos begins to settle down? In other words, when the dust begins to settle?
Tiptoe into the market and be very selective about what kinds of businesses you examine, and make offers that anticipate the downside. Stay out of the sectors that were greatly troubled and that will continue to be troubled. This is going to be a time where you better have the kind of legal counsel that knows how to write a contract that won't push sellers and brokers away, but it will protect the buyer's downside post-closing.
Very interesting. Now, obviously, with the understanding that you're not a business broker, what advice would you give a business broker representing a business seller whilst we're in the midst of all this chaos?
Don't oversell owners on the possibility of selling their company in the near future. Encourage owners who don't have to sell, hold off for a while. And if you're going to offer a business for sale, let's be more transparent what the buyers are really getting and what the seller is truly offering. Remember, no undeserved superlatives. Offer up front, buyer financing. And you better have world-class presentation materials. The kind of stuff that I see, my buyers see from brokers and sellers, the written materials, their confidential information memorandum and profiles, they're really crummy. They're not impressive. This is the time to fix it. Don't hide what's wrong. And one more thing, be creative in deal making. one of the things that I'm recommending is let's, instead of buying a bit, if we want to buy one tomorrow and it's a good business, it's somewhat troubled now, or maybe greatly troubled, let's make a partial purchase of the business, keep the owner in, and now we have everybody on the line at risk working to improve it. And as the business improves, we'll buy the owner out and pay more than we would have today.
Very interesting. Well, and on that point, what advice would you give business broker, again, representing a business seller, once the dust begins to settle?
Well, everything I just said, plus this, get ahead of the curve. The owners who want to sell right now but don't put their company on the market, soon as the brokers and the owners feel it's time to come back and come on strong and really showcase your materials, your marketing materials to people like me, because it's going to be a good time for owners to be on the market before the crowd of sellers shows up, seller competition. And guess what? The buyers, they're going to be coming back. They're going to be coming back in a horde. The name of the game for brokers and sellers, and I hate to say this, is create buyer competition, create bidding wars. You know, I'm a hired gun for searchers and buyers. We don't like buyer competition. That's why we try to go to direct to owners, and that's what we're doing now. But for the brokers and sellers, heavy marketing, create buyer competition.
Very good. Well, thank you for your candor. Now, finally, out of your extensive library of ebooks and webinars, do you have anything specifically that you would like to recommend to the viewers of this interview?
Okay, forgive me for being self-serving, but yes, three of my books are, I think they're direct hits right now for brokers, buyers, owners, and sellers. The buyers, of course, they should read these books because it shows how the savviest buyers do deals. Sellers and brokers, you better know how we're going to behave. So now's a good time to read my books for buyers, so you see our point of view. You're going to see what the people who know what they're doing are doing. And those are the people you want to meet, people who are actually going to close a transaction. Those ill-informed searchers, they're not going to buy businesses, but you're going to risk your confidentiality talking to them. Two books are How to Prepare Yourself and Find the Right Business. The other book is How to Buy the Right Business the Right Way. But there's one more, and this one is rolling off the shelves. How to Get All the Money You Want for Your Business Without Stealing It. Why? Owners right now are using that book to improve their cash flow. You want to survive, owners, you better be improving your cash flow. Don't wait for the handout from the government. And the buyers and sellers, they need this book to creatively finance their deal, because institutional financing is going to go bye-bye for a while. And of course, what I tell my buyers is, the month after you buy a business, you start implementing what's in this creative financing book, because there are all kinds of ways to increase cash flow. All these books, see my website, partneroncall.com.
Very nice. Ted, thank you very much for being with us. I really appreciate your time, and I really appreciate your knowledge and you sharing that knowledge with us. And look, let's hope that we'll all come out safe, sound, healthy, and stronger on the other side.
We will come out healthy, at least in business, if we avoid making mistakes. Okay, thanks. This was really fun.
Thank you very much, Ted.